As I've mentioned before, there are some absolute classic games that I've never played. Whether that's because I wasn't born when those games came out, or I'd never owned the consoles they were released on, or a whole bunch of other factors like I was, busy getting 10s in the slam dunk contest. One classic game that I can't use those excuses for is Shadow of the Colossus. I have owned the 2018 remake since it came out in 2018, and it's just been sitting unplayed in my collection ever since, gathering dust.
Wheezy? Is that you?
Hey, Woody.
Actually, that's a lie. I did try to play it once when I got it, but I'm pretty sure that was around the time when I finally got a Switch and Breath of the Wild. And if you know anything about me, you know that game absolutely took over my life, so it's no surprise that I did not get into Shadow of the Colossus at all. I can't really remember vivid details of playing it for the first time. I just remember splotches of feelings I felt whilst playing it. I did not like the controls. I thought the main character just felt a little off. It wasn't as responsive or precise as I would have liked. Plus the climbing was really a mixed bag. Sometimes you scale the back of a Colossus with ease. The next you're getting thrown around like a ragdoll, making it impossible to climb. I found the open world to be boring to explore. It is such a desolate and barren and empty and just a nothing burger of an open world. There is literally nothing in it except for the bosses. I remember getting up to like the third boss and just stopping. I truly could not be fucked playing this game any longer. But even after how crappy of an initial experience I had with Shadow of the Colossus, I knew deep down in my gamer soul that I would give it another shot. Well, at the start of this year, I thought to myself, you know what? I really should start playing these classic games that I've never played before. And I thought, what better place to start than with a classic game I actually own? So I booted up the old faithful Shadow of the Colossus for a second time, ready to get lost in this classic experience. And it was around the 7th or 8th boss mark that I sat back, put the controller down, and thought, wow, this game fucking sucks!
That shit is a 2-pack of ass! The fuck are you talking about? That shit stinks!
I fucking hate Shadow of the Colossus. I think my main sticking points when I played it the first time came flooding back to me, and I remembered, yep, this game is straight ass. Straight ass. Dude, it fucking sucks!
Get the fuck out of here! That shit garbage, nigga!
My main gripe with Shadow of the Colossus is the controls and gameplay. You know, only the most essential parts to any video game experience. I think they are the most frustrating and annoying controls ever designed. Wanda is one of the most uncoordinated, weak, limp biscuit dicked video game protagonists ever. You walk over the tiniest of bumps, he fucking trips and stumbles. You stand on a boss and it moves ever so slightly and he trips and falls off. You grab onto the boss and you're ready to attack it. And again, it moves ever so slightly and you lose your attack and you have to start again and charge it up again. It is so frustrating trying to control a character that you feel like you have no control over. As a player, you should never be questioning what the character you're controlling is doing. You should always feel like the character is doing exactly what you are telling it to do. There are too many times throughout Shadow of the Colossus where I'm questioning what the fuck Wanda is doing. And that's a sign of a poorly designed game. The camera is also poorly designed. I feel like I'm constantly fighting for control with it. I point the camera exactly where I want it to face. And then not even 2 seconds later, the game takes control and moves it wherever it wants. And when you're fighting these massive creatures, and you're so small and tiny compared to them, you want to be able to look around and know exactly where you are. But nope, you can't do that because the game is designed so shitty and is controlling the camera for you. When riding the horse, the camera is even worse. Trying to fight for control of the camera while simultaneously holding down triangle to make the horse move. And I don't know if you know anything about video game controllers, but it is impossible to control the camera with your right thumb whilst also simultaneously hold down triangle with your right thumb at the same time. The horse also fucking sucks. Feels like you're running through cement, that's how slow and unresponsive it is. This makes exploring the world so frustrating as trying to get anywhere is an absolute chore. Plus, like I mentioned earlier, there is fucking nothing to do in this world. It is so boring. You never find anything cool. Anything like a cave with little secrets, or items, or clothes, or lore drops, or anything. You don't find anything in this world. It's so boring, the game's so boring, and it's so frustrating, and the design's so shitty, and so, it's safe to say I do not like this game. It's something I would have said a week ago. You see, the craziest thing happened. Nakey Jakey, a man whose video game opinions I truly trust, recently ranked the top 20 PlayStation exclusives of all time. And at number 3, above games like The Last of Us, God of War, Little Big Planet, Metal Gear Solid, Final Fantasy, was Shadow of the Colossus. Seeing it being ranked so high made me think there must be something about this game that I'm missing. So I thought, you know what? Let's give it one final try. But this time, I'm gonna sit back and let the game do its thing. And then, after letting go of control and letting the game take me where it wanted, suddenly, everything just clicked. I have never played a game like Shadow of the Colossus before. It is truly a one-of-one experience. Everything that I hated about the game the first 2 times did not bother me at all this time round because I realized something. I was playing the game wrong. My expectations for how the game should play and feel were completely wrong. And I can't believe it took until my 3rd attempt for me to realize this. Wanda may be so uncoordinated he could barely pass as a baby taking their first steps. But that's precisely the point. You feel like you're a bumbling idiot who has no idea what they're doing, because that's exactly what you are. Wanda has absolutely no clue what he is doing. He is a young man, completely trusting the word of a god he doesn't know is good or evil, using a sword to kill giants, the purpose of which he doesn't know. The controls I used to categorize as poorly designed are designed perfectly to convey this feeling of incompetence to you. Usually video games like to make you feel like this all-conquering hero who can defeat anything that comes its way. But Shadow of the Colossus wants you to feel the complete opposite. The game's unparalleled sense of scale heightens this feeling. The open world is filled with these massive cliff faces that completely dwarf the player. And when you come across the Colossi, you're wondering how you, this tiny little man, are supposed to defeat these multi-story tall behemoths. I don't think I've ever felt this small. Well, apart from in VR.
Joe, a snicker 9 feet tall.
Each boss presents a unique puzzle for you to solve in order for you to bring them down to your level. Whether that be shooting them in the foot, splashing around in a lake like a drowning kid, or climbing upon this dude's balls chins. Each boss is a visual spectacle, gorgeous enough to make you drool. Seriously, I would advise not turning on the photo mode, because you'll just be stopping every 5 seconds in order to take a photo. That's how good looking this game is. Once you grab onto them, you clamber your way up to their weak point, fighting to hold on while they try to shake you off. When I played the game before, I hated these sections because I felt like you couldn't move 2 feet without the giant trying to shake you off. Like stated previously, it is very frustrating, and I put that down to bad game design. But again, this time round, I realized that's the point. The game wants you to be frustrated. It wants you to feel like you are completely out of your element trying to take down these massive creatures. For me today, I could have easily made the bosses easy to kill. That would not suit the story and themes of the game. Now, I don't want to spoil the game for you, so I'll just say this. From the very first boss, you get this feeling like you should not be doing this. And then at the end, when everything is revealed, I had to pick my jaw up from the floor. That's how good this story is. I think what makes Shadow of the Colossus so special is its sense of purpose. Everything in this game works together in order to invoke a certain feeling from the player. There is not a single wasted mechanic in this thing. Everything, from the gameplay, to the presentation, to the music, to the purposely desolate open world, to the horse that I ended up loving.
I love you, bitch. Oh my God. I ain't gonna never stop loving you, bitch.
To even the little lizard things that crawl around, were designed with a specific vision in mind. A vision to make the player feel something. In today's media landscape, there are so many things that are created with ulterior motives in mind. Whether that is to sell you their battle pass, advertisements, their new cinematic universe, their exclusive subscription service, data, propaganda, whatever, anything. These things are created essentially by a bunch of suits higher up in order to increase their company's stock value and profitability. If you were to, say, remove the director from the new Fantastic Four or the new Call of Duty, do you reckon it will still get released? Absolutely they would. Because Disney needs their summer blockbuster, Marvel needs to set up their new cinematic universe, and Activision needs that Warzone money, baby! But there are some things, some works of art that are created for an entirely different purpose. They are created because the people who made them want the audience to experience something. Now, some of these works of art are bad. They're not all hits. But when you find one that is exceptional, you have to cherish it. And Shadow of the Colossus is one of those exceptional pieces of art.